What exactly does it mean to assess reflections instead of artifacts?
Well, what we really want to, the point I want to emphasize here, this is really a kind of a reflection, but it's different enough from the other reflections that are under the second principle that we really set them apart as a separate principle. And what it really means is kids in any meaningful learning environment, kids are producing things. Learners are producing stuff. Well, traditionally, these have been thought of as assignments, and they're assigned to kids. Kids fill them out. They don't really mean anything. An artifact is something that's sort of been imbued with meaning. Somebody's been doing a project, right? And the reason it's an artifact is because you can look at that project and you can see that some learning has taken place, and it means something to those students. Well, in the kind of projects that we're thinking about designing for participation, they generate a lot of stuff, tons of stuff. It's a lot of work for teachers to assess it. But more importantly, if you actually assess the stuff that learners produce, they want really specific rules. They say, is this what you want? Is this what you want? And we're trying to get away from that. So what we do is we very carefully structure very specific kinds of reflections, and then we ask the students to reflect on, basically, explain what it is about this artifact that shows that you've engaged in using these tools in particular ways. And that solved a lot of problems for us because a lot of times the teachers can just look at the reflection and be confident that the students have taken away sort of the conceptual knowledge that we're after. But it also leaves a lot of the agency or the control in the learner's hands so that they feel that they own that artifact. They're not just doing it for a grade. So it really helps students, for example, they'll go in and write the reflection across these different projects. They'll start to write it and they realize, oh, well, I actually didn't really do that in my project, and I need to go back and do it. So you can watch kids, they'll go in, they'll start the reflection, and that's enough to often get them to go in and redo a project or do a better job on something. And then they come in and they articulate in the reflection what it is they learned. So there's this sort of metacognitive thing that's going on. But it also fosters a lot of discourse. Kids will talk with each other about the reflections, and we found that to be very helpful for learning.